Hey, good morning. We're down here early. Not quite as early as we should have been because the goats are already up. But they just got up, more or less. They're all gonna be right here. And that's what we're trying to avoid. You can see World's Greatest is back here behind me. She hasn't had to help me in several moves. And I needed her today though, because what's happening is when I move the nannies or move the goats, the kids are at their play stations, you know, like this little cliff or a fallen tree or whatever. And so they would rather play than go. And so I told Lisa I wanted to be down here as early as I could and try to catch them right when they got up. That way I know all of the nannies are with all the babies, and there's a better chance that they're just gonna come on because they'll get up and start nursing first thing. So we're here early. I don't want to spend any more time talking. We're just gonna get going moving them and see if this doesn't help us move, the fact that we're trying to move them so early. You guys ready? You ready? All right, let's get to work. Get it.
This stupid four-wheeler, it won't start.
We're looking for babies with the nannies. I see a bunch of nannies here without babies, so let's hope the World's Greatest is back there doing her thing.
Brett doesn't know. He's on his own again. There's not much I can do if I don't have a four-wheeler. I guess I have to just sit here and watch him run past me.
Okay, so there again, we're trying to move them as early as we can so they're still paired up and the kids haven't got out on their jungle gym. So obviously we get down here on our four-wheelers, on our ATVs, and move them like that. And when you know it, as soon as we get down here, World's Greatest won't start. So she's back there on foot, seeing what she can do on foot. And this particular job is all about making sure all the babies come out of this extremely, it's probably 80% brush pasture. And when I say brush, I'm talking this kind of brush. Here comes a wad of kids, so that's good that they're coming. World's Greatest is already to the gate where I raised the fence. So everything she saw that was there is through. Now the problem is going back through this stuff and locating any jungle gyms that maybe the kids had already gone to. I'm not 100% sure the size of this pasture, but if I had to guess, it's probably going to be about 50 acres. So this is probably 40 acres of brush, mostly brush. So I'm going to come back here and just listen and see if I can hear anybody playing or bawling or dinking around, and then we can kind of go investigate. I've walked down to the other end of this pasture here just to check and see if I could hear any action, anything going on, and I can't hear anything. So I think the next step is to get on the four-wheeler and drive maybe all the way to that side, because I know there's some areas over there, that some little cliffs and things that they like dinking around on. But I'm just hoping that we got down here early enough that we prevented that from happening, and we got them all. This is one of the reasons why, you know, one of our tools to keep from having issues when we get in the brush is to try to have all the kids on the ground and have them with some age on them by the time we really hit this thick brush. And so most of these kids are going to be, you know, 2.5 months old now. That should be old enough that they can run from one side of the pasture to the other in about 5 seconds from what I've seen with goats. So that makes me feel a little bit better that a nanny is not going to bed one down in hopes that the nursery is going to be safe while they go eat. So the management tool is timing. Another management tool we're using to keep even this age kids with their mamas is being out here first thing. That's critical, because they typically will bed together. Matter of fact, if they don't, they're probably going to be in trouble. So I guess over time, if the ones that don't do that, they'll slowly cull themselves. That's not necessarily good, but over time it would be. So I feel pretty good about it now. We're going to see if we can get Miss Lisa's World's Greatest Rig started and going. We're just having trouble with the four-wheelers right now. So let me see if I can get her going. Follow these trails around. I know there's a big toy over here, a little cliff, I think. I know there's a bunch of trees down right up there that'll be a toy for them. Look at that. So you can see where they've just been playing on that. Looks like all day. I think they're skateboarders. See, they made them a little round here. They come up and they go off the wall right there and come back down and jackknife on that side. You think I'm kidding, but I'm not. So we just got done moving the goats into the second kind of really brush pasture that we have. And I was kind of going over the issues that we were having and we were trying to solve, and we feel really good about that. One of the positives to the brush pasture is that's where we have all of our goat shelters. And our goat shelters are a little bit different than most people's. I've seen lots of neat shelters, you know, where they have the big round things, or they have maybe containers or old water tubs that they've cut holes in. Those shelters are so neat and innovative, but we don't have any that fancy. Our shelters will shelter the goats from severe weather. They'll keep them semi-dry, and then when they're done, they can eat them. Those of you who don't know what a cedar tree is, it's very unique. It's basically kind of a Christmas tree. You can look at the needles, whatever those are called, and you can see how they go all the way up. And they provide shelter because they're covering each other kind of like this And so by the time they get to the top, if you were to get in here and lay on your back and look up, you probably couldn't see hardly any sky. Now, is it going to keep them completely dry? No, but it's going to protect them. And when the rain hits, and we're looking at about 3 inches over the next week, so it's great that we moved them in here. When the rain hits, this is where they're going to be. You can go find a cedar tree or a grove of cedar trees, and they're under them. So it's outstanding. What a wonderful thing that was created for shelter for the goats. One of the best management tools we have is our management. Everybody's will be different because everyone has different goals. For us, we're trying to utilize a resource that we have extra of with our goats and in turn generate income off of that enterprise. By observing and being flexible with our management, we can do things that will improve our success without spending money. For example, by adjusting our breeding dates, we can control when we kid and, more importantly, when we have our last kid. By planning our grazing rotation with this in mind, we can make sure the kids are old enough to run with their mamas before we hit the brush pastures. We can also concentrate on moving the goats at first light when we do hit the brush to ensure the kids are still with their mamas and haven't got sidetracked on the skate park. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.